Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello and welcome to the Town and Limb Podcast, the podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, rumors are that he was going to score the 9th goal in Game 6, but he decided to take it nice and easy on Jeremy Fowler. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
I didn't want to ruin that young man's career. I was going to go forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand, 5-hole.
You worried about I just like the idea in a shootout, someone going forehand, backhand that much as they're slowly coasting forward towards the goal.
That's some Patty Kane shit.
You worried at all that because you chased Dubes from the net and then you almost chased Jeremy Fowler from the net that you're going to get Mountain Ball unleashed on the Sabres in Game 7?
No, I think they've definitely shown, even after like Dobes. Stop calling him whatever you're calling him. It's Dobes.
I called him Dobes.
I
said Dubes.
Oh, okay. I thought
I didn't call him by his actual last name.
Oh, you call him Dubes. All right. They showed a lot of confidence in him in Game 5 because we had like that high-scoring first period. You put up 3 on him, and they still kept him in. And they kept him in this game for a good chunk of time. So I think he's obviously going to be going. But Sabres might have figured him out. We might have unlocked the Dobes. The Dobes might be unlocked for everybody to walk through.
And as you texted me, the secret to it was simply winning more face-offs.
Dude, in the playoffs, face-offs have an added value. Regular season, I'll ignore it. But in the playoffs, face-offs have an added value.
Can I do a quick apology to the audience?
Sure.
I'm sorry that you clicked on a podcast with a thumbnail on YouTube of a football player, a very prominent football player. And then we spent the first 2.5 minutes talking about Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs divisional round between Montreal and the Sabres.
I had no intention of bringing hockey up to start this. That's all on you, brother.
So I just want to apologize to anyone who clicked on this to listen to us talk about football. Timestamps are always in the description, both on our podcast apps as well as on YouTube. So whenever you get started and it says intro at the start and you see the second chapter heading isn't until 21 minutes in, just skip to the 21 minutes. It's fine.
As all good podcasts do. Any podcast that doesn't do timestamps and like break it up into the chapters on Apple Podcasts, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Do you just hate people listen to your podcast? Is that why?
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you hoping they all die and then you could have an entirely dead audience? I see how it is. Fucking my brother and me wanting to have a whole dead audience. Anyways, Mike, we are a football podcast. In the middle of the offseason, Mike, we have not convened to talk about football since the NFL draft. And there is only one thing that could get this crew back together to talk about football before the NHL and NBA playoffs are up. And that is the re-signing of a first ballot Hall of Famer. We thought that it was time to say goodbye to Mr. Aaron Rodgers, but no. He has stepped up and signed a 1-year deal worth up to $25 million with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that seemed on the precipice of having a major issue at quarterback. Teams up again with Mike McCarthy. Mike, what was your instant reaction when you saw this news?
Well, first I'll say your intro was a lot nicer than mine, because when you said, I was going to say that we got on to talk about the biggest narcissists in all of football and first ballot Hall of Famer. I was going to give him his flowers after I insulted him. My immediate reaction was like, okay, makes sense. Like, I felt like ever since they announced McCarthy as the new head coach, like, from that point on, I was like, all right, no matter how long he drags it out for the attention, Rodgers he's coming back for one more year. I will say he drags it out longer than I thought. Like, I thought he would drop the news during the draft. He's done that in the past where he's like dropped news or like insider information has come out like during the draft for him to get some spotlight. But he waited and he kept waiting. And then he realized that no one really cared or was talking about him. So he was like, all right, well, I guess I might as well just sign the contract now.
I think that there's more at play with it than that. Simply because this has been a pretty continuous thing he's done. So I do wonder if there is either some kind of benefit to the contract to be had, or alternatively, some kind of avoidance of off-season programs that he doesn't want to attend, the team knows he doesn't want to attend, and they're not going to force him to. So they just kind of allow him to sit back and do whatever he does during the offseason, only to come back when he is damn well good and ready.
Well,
but I'm not. That's all I can really think of for it.
Yeah, I mean, whether he signed a couple of days ago when he did, or was he yesterday? I'm sorry, last night, or back in February. You know, he still wasn't going to show up to like OTAs or anything. Like this dude's been doing this for a long time. He doesn't need OTAs. He's kind of got it down. He knows how football works. He's got to figure it out.
Right. So now he has signed a deal. I wanted to pull up his MVP odds, but FanDuel does not have his odds on MVP listed anywhere. So that's interesting. You can bet hold on, let me just scroll down. You can bet Jacoby Myers at 500 or 500,000 to 1, 50,000 to 1. Sorry, I moved my comma. However, you cannot bet on two-time MVP Aaron Rodgers for the MVP
until the Steelers start 4-0.
How does Ty Simpson have the same odds as Jared Verse?
That's for MVP.
I mean, you get to 50,000
down
to
the
1.
list are you? Oh, okay.
50,000 to 1. You get to 50,000 to 1. Like Zach Bond all the way through Trey Hendrickson, all the same odds. But I mean, you know,
that's disrespectful to Zach Bond.
Honestly, they should at least make Ty Simpson 50,001 to 1.
Yeah, that's the extra point because you're a rookie. You get the extra point added on.
Well, because you're Ty Simpson.
That's true. Oh, wow, that's disrespectful. Anyway, I will say, kind of going from like part of my instant reaction to this that kind of like goes into like a Steelers picture of it is why not, right? Like they obviously wanted him back. They don't have a QB this year that they feel confident in. I mean, you're looking at
Mason Rudolph, Rodgers, Will Howard, and Drew Aller are the three behind Rodgers.
Yeah. So like, go ahead. You're at a point in the year where your free agent money's spent. Even after this Rodgers contract, which I know it has all that, like from what I'm seeing, his guarantee, or I'm sorry, not his guarantee, his cap number is only 15.5. They still have 10 million left. Not that 10 million matters, because this isn't the NBA or the NHL where it's like, oh, come the trade deadline, how are they going to add somebody? There's none of that to it. So you just had all this extra cap space. You needed a starting quarterback. Go ahead. It's a 1-year deal. It carries absolutely no effect on the future. So why not? I get it.
And he's a better option than any of the other quarterbacks they had. Like even 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Last year, 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers was more effective than we expect Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, or Drew Aller to be.
Not to be mean, but just because the other two are Mason or Will Howard, obviously he was drafted the previous year, but he hasn't played at all, and Drew Allard's a rookie. I will just say that he was definitely a better option than Mason Rudolph. Just based off what we know, based off NFL game tape, he was definitely better than Mason Rudolph.
No defensive end has ever swung their helmet at Aaron Rodgers' head.
Exactly.
Although Ndamukong Suh did stomp on him, so. Mike, I did finally get the MVP odds up with Aaron Rodgers. He is tied with two other quarterbacks at 10,000 to 1. Or I guess it's not 10,000 to 1, but you know what I mean. It's plus 10,000. Do you care to guess who the other two quarterbacks he's tied with are at that number?
I'm gonna say Bryce Young and Shedeur Sanders.
Those are excellent guesses because Bryce Young is actually slightly longer odds than him.
Okay.
At plus 12,000. Shedeur Sanders, I don't even see on the list because I think that he's not even going to be the starter. They're saying Deshaun Watson's going to be the starter there, so I don't see Shedeur Sanders
for a week or two.
But I'll give you one hint. One hint here, Mike. One of the quarterbacks who is tied with Aaron Rodgers in MVP odds previously played for Aaron Rodgers' long-tenured Green Bay Packers.
Matt Flynn's not in the league anymore, so I have no idea who you're talking about.
Malik Willis, you're out of practice.
My bad. I was thinking played for the Packers while Rodgers was on the team. My bad.
No. The other one, potential quarterback of Team Town alone, Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shuck.
Mike, let's talk a little bit about the look of these Pittsburgh Steelers now that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. They had what was largely my God, I'm out of practice. Largely regarded as one of the higher end drafts, especially on the offensive side of things, where they picked up Max Iannetcher as their right tackle, and Jeremy Bernard, who would be the two big ones, as well as Jennings Dunker, who's a guy who is, probably not going to play this year. They also traded for Michael Pittman, so they have DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman as their two receivers, and signed Rico Dowdle during the offseason. Do you think, now that Rodgers is back, this Pittsburgh Steelers team has a higher ceiling than last year's Steelers?
No, I think they have the same ceiling. To be honest with you, I think it makes them a slightly more competitive team had they not had Rodgers. But I don't think anybody in the AFC North is really scared. A matter of fact,
they won the division last year, Mike.
I know they did, but I reached out to my sources to get in touch with the other top AFC teams to get their reaction to the Rodgers news, and this is it. I'm gonna put the quote up on the screen. You ready for this?
Uh-huh. That one, I don't even know how to translate that to audio. It's a funny gag.
It's a funny LeBron James gif. You probably know it if you're terminally online. But yeah, I don't think it makes them it makes them more competitive. Maybe they could slide into a wild card spot. I don't think it makes them I know they won the division last year, but Lamar, I believe in the Ravens and the Bengals way more, even with this Rodgers news, than I do the Steelers. And that's
Vegas would in fact be on your side on that. Where currently the Ravens are -125 and the Bengals are 2-1 to win the AFC North, with Pittsburgh in third place at 6-1.
Right, which really isn't saying that much because you're in a division with the Browns, so you can't really brag about being third.
Hey, everyone loved their draft too. Everyone was like, "Man, the Browns really blew the ceiling off this draft."
And they did have a solid draft. I don't hate it. I mean, at least a couple of those pickups, the Jeremy Bernard pickup, and obviously the E. Hanchor. Is that how you said it was pronounced?
Yeah, something like that. Iannetcher.
Yeah, something like that. Iannetcher, whatever. We're both solid pickups, and so I'll give him props for that. But I still don't think I'm not a big Michael Pittman guy. I think he was a guy who a team talked themselves into being like, well, he's our number one. He's a legit X receiver, and they gave him a contract, and they were like, he's not a legit X receiver.
No, but with DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman, they have two players that are not legit X receivers, but play the position, and I think that they combine for one X receiver. And they do. You know what people say: if you have two wide receivers and neither one of them is the number one, you kind of don't have a number one wide receiver. But
True.
You got guys that can play football. I'm not a Michael Pittman guy. I'm also not, sticking with the Indianapolis Colts here for a second, an Alec Pierce guy. So there's a lot of guys hanging out in the league in kind of that tier. I don't necessarily believe in Michael Pittman, but you got Rodgers back there, man. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, I think Najee, Najee Harris, he's gone. Jalen Waddle, Warren. Oh my God,
you're out of practice.
Has to be a stud. If I'm Caleb Johnson, I'm going to rlods.com and I'm a little questioning my life choices, and I'm upset that Rico Dowdle is already ahead of me on the draft chart. That's unfortunate, or on the depth chart. And they have some pieces I like, especially on the depth side, like Roman Wilson, a little Ben Skoranek at Notre Dame. All right, I'm being an asshole now. But yeah, to go back to my point, I think this team will not get, especially when you look at their defense. Their defense isn't oh my God, fucking iron wall. But it's they got some studs. They got some studs in there. Obviously, there's the younger Watt. Cam Hayward still has the juice to him, etc.
It's crazy to call TJ Watt the younger Watt still, because by Watt standards he is, but the dude's 31. He is nearing the end of his elite pass rusher career.
I was just going by actual age, but good point.
I know.
My point being is this team I don't think is going to get they're not going to give up 30 and get blown out a lot, but they're not going to hold teams to 10 points a lot. They're somewhere in the middle there.
I think that they are going to win most of their games 21-18. What's up?
Since I said I'm going to pull up their schedule while you're talking, since we had the big schedule release this past week, where everybody was putting up their funny videos.
Aaron Rodgers right now is the active passing yards leader in the NFL. He has the most career passing yards of any NFL player.
He's 41. No shit.
He's 5,000 and some change behind Brett Favre. Do you see him overtaking Brett Favre for number 4 on the all-time list?
Is that the only reason he's still playing?
I think
to pass Brett Favre?
It might be.
He was like that old Mississippi welfare stealing mother effer.
Do you see him overtaking Favre?
5,000 yards behind? 5,000 and change?
5,000 and change.
He's going to need 2 more years to do that.
Okay. He is currently...
That's not a hot take. He's been sub 4,000 for the last 2 seasons. So
he's currently 12 passing touchdowns behind number 3 all-time Peyton Manning. And 44 passing touchdowns behind number 2 all-time Drew Brees. Do you see him overtaking Drew Brees?
He's not going to overtake Drew Brees. He's only 12 behind Peyton. He can definitely overtake that. He had 28 2 years ago, 24 last year. Even if he has a 50% drop-off, he would still tie him, get one more, and he would pass him. So, yeah, I think he can pass Peyton in that 12 tutty gap, but not. I can't see it. Like I said, this dude's 41. 41, yeah. And I don't want to be mean here. And this is going to sound mean, but also, we all know it's true. I'm sorry, he's 42. And his body is not Tom Brady's body. I'm sorry.
Not enough
avocado ice cream, not enough pliability. It hasn't held up the same way. So I don't
Tom Brady
see any way.
Drinking coconut water.
Oh, there you go.
Coconut water.
Shout out TB12.
Need the electrolytes.
Who wouldn't let Jimmy Garoppolo in their building or whatever that old rumor
Speaking
was.
of Jimmy Garoppolo, Mike, the last career record I wanted to mention here. Currently, Aaron Rodgers is tied with Lamar Jackson for career passer rating at 102.2. Do you see Rodgers either increasing his passer rating or at least maintaining that number on his way out the door?
Let's see. NFL passer rating last year was 136.7. Oh, that was game week 1. I'm not looking at season. I'm sorry. NFL passer rating last year was 92.1. So based off those standards, it probably could go down some.
Number 9 on that list, by the way, career passing rating leaders, Jimmy Garoppolo, 97.6. Ahead.
He's not a starter anymore.
Ahead of Tom Brady.
Yeah, because he had 2 years as a starter, and then we realized that wasn't the thing.
According to Pro Football Reference, Jimmy Garoppolo played in the NFL for 11 seasons, Mike.
Yeah, but how many games? You're an asshole. How many games did he start?
I don't know. Right now, I'm just looking at the career passing ratings numbers or passer rating numbers.
Yeah.
And so many of these hyperlinks are purple instead of blue because I've clicked on them. You know, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, Tony Romo, Kirk Cousins. However, Jimmy Garoppolo is still a blue hyperlink, and I kind of don't want to click on that and forever have Jimmy Garoppolo's hyperlink turn purple. So I'm not going to click on it to see how many seasons he was a starter.
You don't want your girlfriend to go on your computer and see that Jimmy Garoppolo's hyperlink is purple.
Yeah.
What do you
just
talk? What is going on?
Yeah, that's a call for help. If Jimmy Garoppolo's hyperlink is purpled on your Pro Football Reference,
I'm worried about you. You know too much ball.
Mike, let's close it out here. Let's just do predictions. Give me a win-loss prediction as well as how many games does Rodgers start.
I'm cutting you off. Because you're going to do this. I have their schedule pulled up.
Okay.
And I'm going to go through it, and you're going to tell me win-loss. You ready?
Yeah. Just make sure when you tell me it, give me home or away as well.
Obviously, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I think this is my first podcast. What an asshole. Just kidding. Week 1. Starting there. I figure we should start at week 1, right? Yeah, okay. We're going to start week 1.
Probably.
Home against Atlanta.
Home against Atlanta. That's a win.
I'm getting a piece of paper to jot this down in case you're not. At New England.
That's a win.
Holy shit! Really?
Come on. Are we really buying into New England?
Your stock on the Patriots?
When did I have stock on the Patriots?
You did.
Do I look like Diana Rossini to you?
You think they're that you're like that's a little bit of a one-hit wonder-ish if they're week 2 at home dropping a game to 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, right?
Hey, I watched the Commanders turn from a conference finals team into a complete bag of 8th overall picked pudding.
That's fair. All right. Next up is at home against Cincinnati. Joey B.
That's a win. I promise I'm not doing a bit. Just Cincinnati has been historically terrible in the first month of the season.
That's true. That's a good point. At Cleveland.
In Pittsburgh. At Cleveland, that's a win.
Home against the Colts.
Home against the Colts. Daniel Jones still not back at 100%. Anthony Richardson probably playing. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in that one.
Yeah, how is Anthony Richardson still a Colt is the real question. Next
he tried to go to the Buccaneers because he's wearing the eye patch, but he couldn't. The depth perception, he couldn't get out the door.
He went into a team meeting with them. So he was like, "Yarg, I be a Buccaneer." Speak of the Devils, the very next week at Tampa Bay.
That one, Tampa Bay is going to win that one in Tampa Bay early in the season before Baker Mayfield is all beat to shit.
All right. Home against NOLA.
That's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh win.
Pittsburgh. Okay. Home against the Browns.
That's another win. Nice way to get your Browns games out of the year early.
Yeah. Bye week.
That's a win.
We'll call that a tie. No one's gonna win the bye week. We're not gonna put that in the calendar. For Rodgers, that's a bye week because he's 42. Next up is in Cincinnati.
That's Cincinnati's going to win that one out of the first month of the
week
season.
10.
Yeah.
Yep. In Philadelphia.
Ooh, the Philadelphia team this year is such a coin flip.
I want them to be terrible, personally.
They were bad last year, but they chased Jeff Stoutland out. I think Philadelphia's going to be exceptionally mid, but I'll go ahead. I'll give this one to Pittsburgh in the cross-state rivalry. I'm sorry, I'll give this one to Philadelphia in the cross-state rivalry.
Philadelphia, okay. Over under 3.5 Adam Schefter reports about A.J. Brown not being happy in Philadelphia by week 10.
Dude, he's getting traded to New England before.
That's right. June 1st. That's what we're waiting for. Yeah. Okay. Next up, home versus your daddy's favorite team, the Denver Broncos.
Honestly, that just seems like such a game the Broncos would drop. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on that one.
That does seem like a weird one. I can see that.
Yeah, that seems like the Broncos are going to end up 11-6, and one of the 6 losses is going to be like a 21-point loss to the Steelers.
Yeah. Next, the following week, they're against the team with a fan base who's going like, "Dear God, we thought this was the QB of the future, but it's not looking great." The Houston Texans.
I think I'm buying in on the Texans' bounce back season, mainly because if they don't bounce back, I'm going to do all my off-season content about how Nick Caserio fucking sucks. So I'm going to take the Texans in that one.
Did some off-season content last year on how Nick Caserio fucking sucks, but you might circle back. I'm building an industry around Nick Caserio fucking sucks. As soon as he gets fired, I'm out of a job, man. That's it for me. And then the following week, they head to Duval to face Cohen and the Jags.
Got to be the Jags on that one. Got to be the Jags.
Absolutely.
Can't not be.
Travis Hunter, 200 yards receiving, 4 interceptions. It's gonna be a great game. At
that point, he's gonna be playing in Toronto, so
that's true. And then Sunday, December 20th, as they head towards Christmas, they're gonna be home against the Baltimore Ravens.
I think that one's probably me Pittsburgh. I think the Ravens and Steelers probably split their season series by who's at home. Also, dude, Lamar Jackson does not play well in the cold.
All right. That's true. He doesn't. It's late in the season to have to go to Pittsburgh. Well, it's also cold in Baltimore that time of year, so it doesn't matter. All right, next week, and this is TBD, potential flex game when they're at home against the fighting Bryce Young's Carolina Panthers.
I like Carolina's improvements. I'm still going to go with Pittsburgh in that because I think this is Bryce Young's last year as a starter. It is Bryce Young's last year as a starter, man.
I'm going to love it when he wins MVP. Anyway, all right, 2 games left. Sunday, January 3rd, they are taking a trip to face Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans.
Pittsburgh's going to win that one, thus locking up the division.
11. And then finally, the last game of the season. It's also a TBD, a flex game, probably because they're wondering if it could have divisional impact when they take a trip
at Baltimore
to have some delicious seafood in Baltimore.
I'll take Baltimore in that. I think at that point we're talking the Steelers resting their starters, and Baltimore probably still playing for something.
All right. So by that number, Adam says the Pittsburgh Steelers are going 11-6, and I will 100% take the under on that. I can't buy it.
Do they have the wins up? Let me see here.
They do, yeah. FanDuel should have over-unders up. That's what you're looking for?
Pittsburgh has the over-under at 7.5, with most of the action on the over.
Blue best.
All right, Mike, did you have any more thoughts? Aaron Rodgers re-signs one of your $25 million. Anything else you need to mention about this?
Just that, like, to put a bow on it, I think it makes 100% sense for the Steelers. They needed a starting QB. They got one. It has literally zero effect on them past this season. So I get it. I have no hate against it. I do think that even with Rodgers, I don't take them super seriously. But, you know, it's unfortunate for Rodgers. Time comes for us all. Time came for him 3 seasons ago in his first game in New York on a Monday night. But by God, he said, fuck time. I'm going to keep going.
Aaron Rodgers, inspirational to all of us for the belief that at 37 years old, you can tear your Achilles and still play 4 more years of football. Mike, that's all I got for the podcast, except for the
Hunter. All right.
except for one more thing here, which is a little game that we call Prospect Wordle around these parts.
What?
What? A surprise Prospect Wordle on Mike?
A surprise.
Mike, Prospect Wordle is a game we play where leading up to the NFL draft, Mike, college football expert Mike Regan, has 6 opportunities to guess a prospect I have picked out ahead of time. Prior to each guess, Mike will receive a clue. Those clues in order are height and weight, projected draft day, class or times transferred, position, conference, and finally, team. Mike, with that, are you ready to play your first edition of the 2027 draft Prospect Wordle?
I'm ready.
Mike, this player is 6'2", 192 pounds. 6'2", 192.
Dante Moore.
No.
Fuck. I thought 190 was a little scrawny for him. He's probably more like 210.
Mike, 6'2", 192. Currently, this player is projected as a day 1 draft pick. Now, a lot can change. A lot can change. The college football season hasn't even started yet.
Okay, so based on the weight, I'm going to go with the player that I'm going to obnoxiously talk to people about on this podcast about who he's the greatest defensive back to ever play ball. Leonard Moore at Notre Dame.
Leonard Moore is correct, Mike. You have hit Prospect Wordle in 2 guesses.
Dude, this guy in man coverage is a dog.
No, I'm not doing Leonard Moore content right now.
We're doing Leonard Moore content. Fire it up. You got another hour to go.
All right, Mike, you got any plugs on the way out the door here?
Just the usual shit. It's a bonus pod. You don't do plugs on a bonus pod, but
it's an emergency pod, not a bonus pod. How dare you? It's 2 different things.
I was going to say later tonight we're doing a stream. However, by the time this drops, it will have already happened.
Yeah.
But if you didn't watch it, go to YouTube. Watch the VOD.
And what is the URL for where that will be?
That's Talent Alone Streams on YouTube.com. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. We're playing some Fatal Frame, baby.
That was not a URL, but close enough. Yeah, all of our socials, all of our content, all that stuff is in the show notes below. Stay tuned in. We'll be picking back up on NFL content after the conclusion of the NHL and NBA playoffs, since right now that is dominating Talent Alone's content cycle. And we'll be back over the summer to pick Team Talent Alone. We'll do front office rankings. We'll do a bad contracts bracket like we did last year. And
when is that coming back, by the way?
What's up?
July? Is that when we jump back into the Talent Alone podcast, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think not to do an off season or an off air conversation on air, but I think that
I'll let the people know, Adam.
After we finish up, all of the basketball and hockey stuff for the year. I think that I'm going to give us like a week off.
And then
we'll like go through the end of both those finals, do like a reaction pod to the final conclusion. Then we'll take like a week off from all podcasts because we have been going very hard for a very long time now. And then we'll come back after that. Probably do like we were doing before, flip baskies one per week per sport, depending on Tyler Carr, the podcast schedule, and get back to doing a weekly tap to discuss the NFL offseason.
Hell yeah.
But with that, Mike, do you want to give a shout out to any past or current teammates of our GOAT, Aaron Rodgers?
Let's give a shout out to, I think Aaron Rodgers was sitting on the bench then. We'll go ahead and give a shout out to Donald the Dog Driver.
With that, let's get out of here.